Hey guys, Bukoid here. I want to give you guys a little update on the space weather stuff, my models and all that stuff I show you guys. But first, right here, guys, I'm going to try to keep this one short also. I know I say that pretty much at the beginning of most of my videos, but I'm really truly am trying to cut down the time on my videos. I understand everybody's time is valuable, which is why, I put the model update at the end. That way, if people just want to fast forward to that, they can, or, you know, um, cut the video off when those start, however you guys like it. But anyway, what we got going on here, guys, this is a new model, and I think it's pretty cool. Okay, I just started including this into my model updates. It's a Geoelectric field model. Okay, if you notice, that was NOAA, but look down here, USGS. Okay, so they're involved too with this model. I think what's going on here is they're starting to realize, and like I said before, prior in a few of my videos, they are starting to integrate some space weather into some of their models and their forecasting. It's not widely used or very in-depthly used, I guess you could say. Um, but it is starting to get there. Whether they get there fully, I don't know. It'll be years if that ever happens. But that is actually, starting to happen just a little bit because, even with the hurricanes we've been talking about lately, guys, um, you know, Dorian, you guys got to understand that that thing completely strengthened so fast and so strong. But what's the common denominator between Dorian and this other big hurricane out there, the strongest one this year, is they both intensified during a geomagnetic storm. Okay, Dorian was around for the last geomagnetic storm, and this past one we just had, the hurricane there has strengthened and fast. Okay, so this is definitely adding to this stuff. Our atmosphere gets juiced with charged particles, guys, during these geomagnetic storms. And it's going to affect down to local weather. We have to, I know for a lot of people that's a far thing to get to in their mind, but it's actually what is actually happening. Okay, it's affecting our polar vortexes, all these kinds of things. Okay, um, and Scott's been preaching about the polar vortexes. Matter of fact, we just had a conversation yesterday about how they're reaching down into Mexico. I mean, my goodness, the record snowfall already this year, guys. I mean, it's crazy weather. So, now can we have crazy weather without having crazy stuff happen? Yeah, but it isn't just one event. These are things getting piled on top of each other. So there's got to be something that's causing all of this to happen all at once. And I think we all know kind of what that is. It's all the stuff that's, coming in from space. Whatever you think the source of all that is, we are getting lots of energy from space. Things are starting to change, and our pole shift is going to happen. Obviously nobody can say, hey, it's going to happen on this day or this year or whatever. But what we can tell you is that things were not going as expected when they have to go back a year early so our GPS systems don't get all jacked up. They had to physically go find magnetic north a year earlier than what they thought they were going to have to because it had moved so far so fast. So we got to keep all that stuff in mind. No, there's not a whole lot of people, that conversation has kind of got put to the back burner for right now for some reason. I'm not sure why, because, the pole reversal is a big subject that needs to stay in the forefront at some level. Because when that happens, it all happens. Just letting you know. um, anyway, what this is, guys, like I said, it's a geoelectric field model. Now, what does that mean? Right? Well, basically what this model is showing us, I'm going to put it in layman's terms, just so we can all kind of understand it, that it's going to show you basically how space weather, how intense it is, how it's affecting our power grids and, our actual energy transfer stuff, such as wires, electrical transfer stuff, all those kinds of things. They use the word, let's go down here and I'll just read it for you. The geoelectric field is a measure of the induction hazard to artificial conductors. Okay? In other words, it's not a natural conductor. It's something that's man-made, like transformers, electrical power grids, all the wiring systems, all that stuff, right? This is showing you, actually it says such as electrical power lines and all that, okay? The result from geomagnetic activity, which is exactly what we just got, the storm level, right? And I wish I had shown you guys this model earlier in the week before this hit, and that way I could have shown you throughout how this model actually is going to look when there's an event going on. It says it can be used to estimate the amount of current induced by integrating along the conducting pathway. Okay, that's a bunch of bunch of vocabulary that you guys can. I'm sure you guys are smart enough to understand that, but to put it in ways that we can kind of remember, basically, like I said, it's telling you the intensity of basically space weather, geomagnetic stuff hitting our atmosphere and how it's affecting our power grids. Okay, that's why this is here. That's what this model is really designed for. I hope I'm explaining that well enough and just kind of dropping it down just a touch so everybody can kind of try to at least understand it at a basic level. I'm not going to go into depth exactly what the conduction and all those things can lead to and all those other words like current induced by integrating along the conducting pathway. Now, if anybody doesn't know anything about electricity, they're not going to understand a word I just said right there. Okay, so I'm not going to go into vocabulary stuff. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that what we're seeing here on this model is basically how the space weather is affecting our power grids and our power sources and stuff like that. Things that man have basically built here on the earth. It's pretty much what it is. But anyway, I'm going to run this model, and as you're going to see, it's not going to look all crazy or nothing. You're going to see it blinking a little bit. Obviously, you see the key down there at the bottom, how it goes from blues to reds to purples to whites. You can see it bouncing around there. What that is when we get hit with that energy from the solar winds. Okay, basically is what we're seeing here. Okay, so when we get intense storms, that's going to change. Just like it did. I wish I'd have shown you guys this earlier this week because up in this area, it was flashing up into the reds and stuff at certain points during the height of that storm. So that's why I'm bringing you guys this model. I'm going to start showing you guys this model a little bit more often. Okay, guys, I got you over here at SDO. I was going through these models a little bit today, and I seen some interesting stuff here I thought you guys might want to see. First off, if you guys, this is the 304 angstrom. This is the one we go to for looking at the filaments as they're dancing around the limbs or even on the surface here. They're kind of hard to see in the front-facing view, like here on the face of the disc here, because the background colors and stuff kind of wash it out and makes it hard to see. So that's if you guys ever wonder why we always see stuff along the edges better, it's because there's a black background of space behind that. Okay, all these filaments that are dancing around on the sides here, they're dancing around right here in the front also. We just can't see them as well because they're the same color as what's behind it. There's no contrasting background there. So if you guys ever wondered why that was, that's why. But if you go around the sun here on this 304 angstrom, you can see that there's bunches of filaments dancing. Okay, what is a filament? Well, when those filaments bust off, okay, they eject out. If they actually escape the gravity of the sun, that's what would be considered a CME at some level. It might not be big ones, but when we get the big filament releases and stuff like that, that carries some of the mass of the sun with it, obviously those would be considered coronal mass ejections. But we don't have to have sunspots or active filament regions to have a CME. Okay, so I always have to say that because it's important to understand. Now, the chances of having a CME or a solar flare around a filament or a sunspot is greater, okay, just because there's more energy there at that time. So the ones that happen away from those things, we really can't even tell they're going to happen. We have no warning for those. They just happen. So just to put that out there. Now, again, a couple things I've seen on this one. You see this right here? As this is rotating in, you're going to see it. See how it kind of looked like it flared? I think it did flare there a little bit. It wasn't earth facing or nothing. That would be towards stereo A if that's a flare. I'm not saying that it is. I would almost bet if I was to go look at the models, we would see some sort of an energy ejection right there a little bit out in towards stereo A. But what I want to talk to you about here is that's turning. It looks to be like it could be a sunspot very, very soon, if it's not already a sunspot. Okay, which is significant because we're not going to see very many of these right now, like we haven't been. So just wanted to point that out. And you can see it. We'll watch it again here real quick. You'll watch it. It kind of flares out a little bit. It looks as though it does. See that right there, a little flash. Again, it's not going to really affect us because it wasn't earth facing. But as that sunspot rotates through, it does increase our chances of seeing flares or what have you that are earth facing. I guess I shouldn't call that a sunspot yet because I don't think it's an official sunspot. But it's definitely an active area. Okay, that definitely looks like it could turn into one. And if memory serves here with what we've been talking about, as that thing rotates in towards earth facing, what we've been talking about here, and this is something that Scott had brought up that I've been paying attention to. As these things rotate towards earth facing, they seem to be increasing in intensity. Then as they rotate on through, they kind of decrease. So, there is some science there behind that. One of my subscribers was trying to explain it to me, and I did go and research that some. So there is some science behind that, but it's definitely interesting because it does happen. So that does lead us to thinking coronal holes actually open up sometimes a lot also when they're earth facing. Stuff just kind of appears. Now, again, I don't understand why it only happens when it's earth facing. And the reason why is because the sun faces other planets all the time also. And they're connected there magnetically also. So why isn't it happening when they're facing those planets? That's my question. I don't have an answer for that. I don't know if anybody does. Please let me know. But anyway, this is the other one. Okay, this is a big filament. Okay, it's tall. It's dancing around off the edge there. Look at that. Okay, that's real close to ejecting. I can tell you that right now. See how it's going up, and none of it's ejected on out yet, but it could at any time. You guys got to kind of think of this like the old incandescent light bulbs. You can still get them, not very often, but before all the energy saving stuff, light bulbs had a filament in them. Okay, but a lot of people don't know that. It's called a filament. That little wire that's in the middle that creates the heat and the light. That's exactly what this is. Okay, and just like when a light bulb blows, that filament breaks, right? Well, that's what happens with these. Okay, at a very basic level. They break and they eject. I mean, it's that simple. Obviously, there's a lot of science behind that, a lot of different stuff that you can research there on why it does what it does. But essentially, at the very basic level, that's what we're seeing when we see these things, bust. Okay, they're filaments, just like inside an incandescent light bulb. They're not metal, but they act very similar. When those get busted, they break. Stuff doesn't work right, and it ejects out, what have you. So anyway, that's the 304 angstrom. I'm not going to show you the other angstroms because it does show them also, but this one here seems to show a little bit better. All right, guys, this right here is the radiation belts. I've shown you guys this, and I put it in my models, and I used it yesterday in one of my videos, because it was kind of showing like it looked like it might be reversing as far as the direction, like our bow shock. Okay, we got to keep in mind this is not a magnetopause model. This is an actual radiation belt model. Okay, now with that said, things do seem to look kind of funny here. Okay, and I showed you guys this yesterday. This is the most updated captures we get. Okay, you're seeing it flip around. You're seeing it really just do all kinds of weird stuff. Okay, and it's, yeah. So, you know, we are getting the geomagnetic storm. We're getting increased activity from the sun, but it has subsided somewhat. But yet we're still seeing these anomalies on this tool. They should be starting to slow down and not do this. They should go back to normal. And what normal looks like, see the picture here on the left? That's pretty much normal. Okay. Now I know, like I said, it's not a magnetopause model, but the sun's still over here, and that's why you see that there, because we do have a magnetic shield there. Okay, it protects us from this radiation from the sun. Okay, so when we see it doing that, okay, and that's why I show this. You know, at some level, something is getting pushed back and forth, maybe pulled one direction or the other. Something's happening there. I don't know exactly what it is, but you know, what's the result of this? Well, the result of this is probably more radiations getting through. Okay, that's probably what's happening here. Now, again, what can that do? Well, it would have to be massive amounts to really see like an immediate effect. But I talked about this a little bit before, you know, when they issue the warnings to the pilots and the prenatal passengers, you know, because of the cosmic rays and the radiation we get from those. That is a real thing that they know that happens, and they don't try to say, hey, this doesn't happen. They actually give these people warnings and tell them, you know, restrict your flight hours to under 800 hours a year because of this stuff that is coming in, especially if you fly towards up the higher latitudes, which would be towards the North Pole or towards the South Pole from the equator. Okay, that's what we consider higher latitudes. All right, lower latitudes is what we consider when it gets closer to the equator, because the numbers work down to zero at the equator, and they work upwards going both directions from the equator. That's why they call them higher, even though from our perspective in the northern hemisphere, it looks like it should go down. As far as the numbers, it would make sense in your mind, but that's not how it works. Okay, obviously, lots of reasons behind that. But yeah, so I just want to show you guys that again, okay, because I do think something's going on there. I mean, we've seen this before, but it seems like this one seems to be a little bit more long-lasting. But anyway, guys, I am going to end the video there. I'll try to give you guys another update. Again, I did a model update here at the end with some music and stuff to it. Oh, one more thing, guys. Please go over and watch the interview that I did over on Forbidden Knowledge News. I left a link in the last video, and I actually posted a post here on YouTube so everybody could see. I left a link for that. It'd be nice if you guys could go over and check that out. You know, because it was a pretty decent interview, and you know, give Chris some views over there. Let him check, you know, go check him out. He does lots of different interviews over there with lots of different topics, lots of different people. The interviews and stuff, people that you guys probably would recognize. You know, at some level, most of us would. You know, going over there. There's a few that I've never heard of, but they're in their field. They're kind of higher up there. So go check those interviews out. They're pretty cool. But if you could go check out my interview I did with him, and you know, and drop him a comment. Tell him, hey, you know, Blue Kool-Aid sent me this way. I'm gonna come check out your channel. But anyway, guys, God bless. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.
think you know you won't get through. It's a given early long, someone's faster on the draw. No matter where you hide, I'm coming after you. No matter how the race is won, it always ends the same. Another room without a view awaits downtown. You can shake me for a while, living up in style. No matter what you do, I'm gonna take you down. Shake down, break down, take down. Everybody wants into the crowd tonight. Break down, take down, you're busted. Let down your guard, honey, just about the time you think that it's alright. Break down, take down, you're busted. Oh, oh. Oh. This is a town where everyone is reaching for the top. This is a place where second best will never do. It's okay to want to shine, but once you step across that line, no matter where you hide, I'm coming after you. Shake down, break down, take down. Everybody wants into the crowd alive. Break down, take down, you're busted. Shake down, break down, honey, just about the time you think that it's alright. Break down, take down, you're busted. Oh, busted. Take down, everybody wants into the crowded line. Break down, take down, you're busted. Shake down, take down, honey, just about the time you think it's alright. Break down, take down, you're busted. Shake down, break down, take down, everybody wants into the crowded line. Break down, take down, you're busted. Everybody wants to the crowd alive. Break down, take down, you're busted. Let down your guard, honey, just about the time you think that it's alright. Break down, take down, you're busted. Mountainside, across the sea into my soul. It reaches into where I cannot hide, setting my feet upon the road. My heart is old, it holds my memories. My body burns a chill like flame. must travel, carrying laser through the darkness of the night. Carrying laser where I'm going, will you follow? Carrying laser on the highway in the light. Carrying laser down the road that I must travel, will you follow? Carrying laser through the darkness of the night. Carrying laser where I'm going, will you follow? Carrying laser on the highway in the light. Carrying laser down the road that I must travel. Carrying laser through the darkness of the night. Carrying laser where I'm going, will you follow? Carrying laser on the highway in the light. Carrying laser down the road that I must travel. Will you follow? Carrying laser through the darkness of the night. Carrying laser where I'm going, will you follow? Carrying laser on the highway in the light. Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. WC Andy, won't you look down over me? Yeah, I got a first class ticket, but I'm as blue as a boy can be. Then I'm walking in Memphis, walking with my feet 10 feet off a beat. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? Saw the ghost of Elvis on Union Avenue, followed him up to the gates of Gracie. Then I watched him walk right through. Now security, they did not see him, they just hovered around his tomb. But there's a pretty little thing waiting for the king down in the jungle room. When I was walking in Memphis, I was walking with my feet 10 feet off the beat. Walking in Memphis, but you really feel the way I feel. They've got catfish on the table, they've got gospel in the air, and Reverend Green, be glad to see you when you haven't got a prayer. But boy, you got a prayer in Memphis. Now Muriel plays piano every Friday at the Hollywood, and they brought me down to see her, and they asked me if I would do a little number, and I sang with all my might. She said, tell me, are you a Christian child? I said, ma'am, I am tonight. Walking in Memphis, I was walking with my feet 10 feet off the beat. Walking in Memphis, but you really feel the way I feel. Walking in Memphis, I was walking with my feet 10 feet off the beat. Walking in Memphis, but you really feel the way I feel. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of